Today we're going to talk about a fishing line that I've come to really like. It's part number 4 of our 4-part mini-series. It's all about copolymer fishing lines. Stay tuned. Hey folks, welcome to Casting with Kurt. I'm Kurt, glad you could join me today. So in our video number 4 of our fishing line series, I'm going to talk to you today about copolymer fishing lines. Now, I've been using this for the last couple of seasons, and I have absolutely liked this fishing line. Copolymer it's kind of like a combination of monofilament with a fluorocarbon mix. It's really strong. I get really good knot strength out of it. I haven't had the line break at the knots or any of that kind of issues. It's less visible because it has a fluorocarbon coating to it. It floats like monofilament, but not as long. It actually sinks quicker than monofilament, not as fast as fluorocarbon. You can get a lot, like this is 600 yards of fluorocarbon fishing line that I bought for $9, I think it was, and this is the 15-pound test. Other brands that I've used a couple of different ones. This is a 17-pound test that came in 500 yards. I picked this up, I think it was for $10. It's a really good fishing line that sits very well on bait casters. It sits really well on spinning rods, so it's versatile in that sense. Like I said, you can get these bulk spools, and they come in pound tests of 6 up to 20 pounds is the average for the copolymer fishing line. So it's really inexpensive, but it's a really strong fishing line for that price. When I've been fishing and using fluorocarbon, which is, 200 yards, runs me anywhere from $20, sometimes $22 for a spool of that, I started switching over to this copolymer, and it saved me a ton of money fishing through a whole season. I can do up most of my rods and reels with one spool of this, and I'm good to go for almost the whole season. Now I use it a lot. My crankbaits, I'm using it a lot with my jerk baits, because again, it does sink. It gets a really good solid hook set. Use like a 15-pound when I'm throwing my spinner baits. I'll use a 15-pound when I'm throwing chatterbaits with it. So it works really good with your moving baits. But then I might go up to a 17-pound. I might start throwing it with some jigs through the rocks along the side of docks and that stuff. Texas rigging soft plastics, anywhere from 12 to 15-pound work really good for this. The only thing lures I definitely wouldn't use it with, I would say would be your floating lures, because it will sink. I would not use it around heavy slop, like if you're frog fishing across lily pads, in that heavy stuff, because it doesn't cut like braid does. So if you're looking for a fishing line that gives you a little stretch like monofilament when you're running, say, those crankbaits and those jerk baits, but you want a line that's going to give you solid hook set, and it's going to be very sensitive, kind of like fluorocarbon is. It has that sensitivity, but save yourself a lot of money. I either use Yoziri Hybrid, they call it, and then I've also used K9 Fluoro, which that's the name that they use for it. 500-600 yard spools running right around an average of anywhere from $8 to $10 depending upon the test. So I hope you've enjoyed this series where we've talked about the 4 different main fishing lines in bass fishing. If you have any comments, you have any questions, you want a conversation, let me know what your favorite is. Go ahead and cast those comments and questions down below. Well, if you enjoy this type of information, tips and tricks, and want to join along as the season slowly begins to warm up and head towards spring, then hit that like and subscribe button, and I thank you for joining me today.